The cave was silent except for the slow, steady breathing of the two figures inside. The air was thick with unspoken words, unfulfilled intentions. The fire had long since died, leaving only darkness between them. Hiro sat against the rough stone wall, his head lowered, his hand resting near his sword. The weight of his decision pressed down on him, suffocating. For the first time, he looked uncertain. He exhaled, his voice barely more than a whisper as he finally answered,
Yes. I thought that if I do it when you sleep, you won't have to suffer.
Across from him, unseen in the shadows, Sunny smiled. It was not a kind smile. Hiro sighed, rubbing a hand across his face, exhaustion evident in every movement. His back pressed harder against the cold stone, his grip tightening over his knee. He spoke again, his tone distant, almost pleading.
I don't expect you to forgive me. This sin, too, will be mine to bear. But please, if you can, try to understand. If things were different, I would have gladly faced that monster to let you escape. But my life is not my own. There is a duty I am sworn to fulfill. Until it is done, I cannot allow myself to die.
The silence stretched between them, heavy, unbreakable. Then, from the darkness, came a soft, dry chuckle. It grew into quiet laughter, edged with something sharp, something broken. Sunny leaned forward slightly, his voice laced with mockery, contempt dripping from every word.
You people, look at you! Planning to kill me and yet still clinging to excuses. How convenient! I really hate hypocrites like you the most. Why not just be honest for once? Don't give me that crap. Just say it. I'm going to kill you because it's easy. I'm going to kill you because I want to survive.
Hiro closed his eyes. The weight of the moment settled deep into his bones. He had known, from the beginning, that this conversation would end like this. He lifted his head slightly, but there was only sadness in his expression as he said,
I'm sorry. I knew you wouldn't be able to understand.
Sunny's laughter stopped. He tilted his head, eyes glinting in the dark. There was no amusement now, only a slow burning anger, quiet and deep. He leaned forward, his voice low, controlled.
Tell me, why do I have to die?
Hiro finally looked up. Even though he could not see in the darkness, he turned his face towards Sunny, speaking evenly.
That man was a villain, but he was also right. The scent of blood is too heavy on you. It will attract the beast.
Sunny scoffed, shaking his head, voice tinged with something bitter.
You can just let me go, you know. We'll part ways. After that, whether or not the monster finds me won't be your problem.
Hiro didn't hesitate. His voice was calm, steady, final.
Dying in that creature's maw is too cruel a fate. It's better if I do it myself. You are my responsibility, after all.
The silence stretched between them again. Then, Sunny let out a small, humorless chuckle. His head tilted back against the cave wall, and he said,
How noble of you!
For a moment, neither of them spoke. The wind howled outside, whispering through the cracks in the cave walls. Then, after a long pause, Sunny's voice came again, quiet but firm, like a blade sliding into place.
You know, when I first came here, I was ready to die. After all, in this whole world, two worlds, actually there's not a single soul who cares whether I live or die. When I'm gone, no one will be sad. No one will even remember that I existed.
Hiro watched him carefully, listening. Sunny's expression shifted, something unreadable flickering in his dark eyes. A slow smile curled his lips, and he said,
But then I changed my mind. Somewhere along the way, I decided to survive. I must survive no matter what.
Hiro studied him for a long moment before finally asking,
To live a life worth remembering.
Sunny's smile widened, sharp and cruel. His voice was steady, certain, almost gleeful as he responded,
No? To spite you all?
For the first time, Hiro had no response. He was silent, unmoving, his expression unreadable. Then, after a moment, he nodded. Slowly, deliberately, he rose to his feet, brushing the dust from his clothes. He reached for his sword, gripping it tightly. He said,
Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Sunny smirked, tilting his head slightly. There was no fear in his eyes, only something dark and knowing, something that sent a chill through the air. He replied, voice smooth and taunting.
Aren't you overly confident? What makes you think you will be able to kill me? Maybe I'll kill you instead.
Hiro's lips parted slightly, and for the first time, a ghost of a smile touched his face. He exhaled, shaking his head as he said,
I doubt that.
Then, suddenly, his body tensed. A tremor ran through him. His legs faltered. His knees buckled. His breath hitched as he collapsed onto one knee, his face paling in an instant. A sharp, wet sound escaped his lips, followed by a harsh cough. Then, blood. Dark, thick blood splattered onto the cave floor as he groaned in pain. Across from him, Sunny watched, his expression still, his breathing even. Slowly, a satisfied smile crept onto his face. He murmured, almost too softly to hear.
Finally.
Hiro gasped, his hands shaking as he stared down at them, trying to understand. His mind raced, searching for answers. He looked up, wide-eyed, and whispered,
Well, what magic is this?
Sunny sighed, rolling his shoulders slightly. His voice was light, almost bored.
I wish I had the ability to throw divine curses around, but no. To tell you the truth, I don't have any abilities at all.
Hiro's breathing grew heavier. His vision blurred. He clenched his fists, trying to fight against whatever was eating away at his body, and choked out.
Then how?
Sunny tilted his head, shrugging slightly, and revealed.
That's why I poison you all.
Hiro's body stiffened. His breath caught in his throat. He barely managed to croak.
What?
Sunny leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees, speaking with the ease of someone discussing the weather.
After the tyrant first attacked, you sent me to search for water. While gathering flagons from the dead soldiers, I squeezed bloodbane juice into each one except my own, of course. Not enough to taste it, but enough to slowly kill anyone who drank from them.
Hiro's hands clenched into fists as realization struck him like a hammer. Sunny grinned, watching the soldier's face contort in agony. Shadows stretched around them. The cave was silent except for the slow, uneven breaths of a dying man and the quiet, measured breaths of the one who had killed him. Then Sunny laughed. It was quiet at first, then louder. The sound echoed through the cave, cold and merciless. Sunny blinked. The temple was empty. The wind howled. The wind howled over the mountain, biting into the darkness. Sunny stood, battered and exhausted, his fingers curled around a silver bell. It was his last gamble. Hiro stood before him, unwavering, sword in hand. He could not see, yet he moved like he did. No poison had stopped him. No darkness had slowed him. Sunny rang the bell. Hiro flinched, confusion flickering across his face. Then, frustration. His voice cut through the wind as he said,
Tell me right now or you will regret it.
Sunny stayed silent. He had no choice. Behind Hiro, the darkness shifted. A massive shadow took form, silent. Hiro's grip tightened. He stepped forward, his voice sharp.
Why are you not answering?
Then, at last, he sensed it. He turned, sword flashing. But it was too late. A monstrous hand shot forward, claws tearing through metal. Hiro was lifted off his feet, a strangled gasp escaping his lips. The Mountain King loomed behind him, its blind eyes unseeing, its maw gaping wide. Sunny didn't watch. He ran. Behind him, Hiro screamed. A guttural, desperate sound. Then a roar. Then silence. But Sunny didn't stop. The temple stood at the mountain's peak, bathed in moonlight. Once magnificent, now ruined, its black marble walls cracked and broken. Sunny staggered forward, barely standing. Blood stained his clothes. His breath came in ragged gasps. He reached the steps, each one agony. At the altar, he collapsed, his body sinking into the cold stone. He just wanted to sleep. A deep, wet breath echoed through the temple. Sunny opened his eyes. The Mountain King was there. It moved forward, slow, inevitable. A coughing fit racked Sunny's body, blood splattering onto the altar. The marble drank it in, shadows stirring. A voice, deep and ancient, whispered through the dark.
You have offered yourself as a sacrifice.
The beast hesitated. Shadows surged. They wrapped around the Mountain King, dragging it back. It thrashed, roared, but the darkness held. Then, in an instant, the monster was torn apart. Silence. Then, a final whisper.
Wake up, Sunless. Your nightmare is over.
Darkness took him. A boundless black void stretches infinitely, illuminated by countless silver threads weaving intricate constellations. The scene is mesmerizing, celestial, and surreal. Sunny found himself suspended between dream and reality, adrift in an abyss of stars. The nightmare spell's workings lay bare before him, a celestial network, intricate and vast. Was it alive? A question pondered for decades, yet still unanswered. A distant, ethereal voice reverberates across the void.
Prepare for appraisal.
Sunny floats weightlessly, anticipation gleaming in his eyes. Then, golden text materializes before him, glowing with divine power.
You have received a memory, Puppeteer's Shroud.
A moment of silence. Then, realization dawns upon him. An awakened memory. From a tyrant, no less. A stroke of fortune beyond comprehension. He clenches his fists, suppressing his excitement. More words appear in the void.
Aspirant, your trial is over.
A vision unfolds, a nameless figure climbing the Black Mountain, spilling blood on a long-forgotten altar. The gods, though dead, had listened.
You have defeated an awakened tyrant, Mountain King. You have received the Shadow God's blessing. Final appraisal, glorious. Your treachery truly knows no bounds.
Sunny smirks. The universe itself seems to tremble as the final blessing descends.
Dreamer, Sunless, receive your boon.
A beat. Then, the final revelation.
You have been bestowed a true name, lost from light.
Sunny freezes. His breath catches. A true name. Something only the most powerful possessed. And he had received it in his first nightmare. He grips his hands tighter, barely believing it. Then,
Your aspect is ready to evolve. Evolve aspect.
Sunny exhales, whispering.
Yes,
The void shudders. The stars flicker.
Dormant aspect temple slave is evolving. New aspect acquired. Aspect rank divine.
Sunny stumbles, barely keeping his balance. The magnitude of it crushes him. Divine, a rank so rare it bordered on myth. Even saints rarely attained it. And yet, here he was. He forces a breath, looking at the glowing runes before him.
Aspect name Shadow Slave.
The words pulse with an otherworldly glow. He reaches out, and knowledge floods his mind. A shadow left behind by a dead god. Bound to servitude, mourning its lost master. Seeking another. His expression darkens. He mutters to himself.
not a problem.
A final voice echoes, solemn and foreboding.
The first seal is broken, awakening dormant powers.
A pulse of energy surges through the void. The stars flicker violently. Then,